We move on to our next EdTech presentation by Mr. 𝗙𝗶𝗸𝗲, CEO and Director, KidEx. 𝗙𝗶𝗸𝗲 is an alumnus of IIT Kharagpur and IIM Calcutta. He has worked for world's top management consulting firms, including the Boston Consulting Group, serving clients across India, United States, Africa, and Europe. After a decade of professional experience, he decided to start his own company, KidEx, to make a difference to the lives of millions of Indian children and their parents, enabling better career opportunities for the children by working on their holistic development. Can we have Mr. Saraf on stage, please? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Hello, everyone. Get the clicker for the presentation. While we wait for the clicker. So, hello everyone once again. I am 𝗙𝗶𝗸𝗲. The last couple of hours, we have spoken about how the education system needs a massive revamp and we need to transform the education system. So I like to begin with, I am one of the products of the education system which has prevailed for the last 20 odd years, maybe more. And I don't believe I am doing that bad for myself. I studied in Assam in the state board. I did not know what was CBSE and ICSE then. But by God's grace, got a state rank, decided to try for IIT, went into IIT Kharagpur. I chose biotechnology because everyone said biotechnology is the future. Within 2 years, I realized that future is very distant. If I want to earn money for my own well-being to take care of my eventual family, that future will keep me waiting for decades. So at IIT, I chucked academics. I focused completely on my personal development, co-curriculars, extracurriculars, positions of responsibility, and I got the best possible jobs on campus, not because of my academic scores, but because of who I had become as an individual. Despite getting all of those jobs, which most people would only dream of, I appeared for CAT. I got selected at the prestigious IIM Calcutta, then spent 2 years over there. While at IIT, I was ranked 9 out of 11 students in my department. At IIM Calcutta, I happened to be ranked 9 out of 300 odd students. So what I am trying to share here is, I have floated through this education system and I believe I have done great for myself. So while we want to set new standards, while we want to make sure that the kind of brilliance which a handful of individuals had unlocked in the past, how can we make sure that it is not limited to 2% or 5% of the students, but it is available to 100% of the students in the country? And honestly, that is what National Education Policy 2020, according to me, is all about. Last few weeks, we became world's 5th largest economy. And let me assure you, the people sitting in this room, no matter what you do, whether you are a teacher by choice, whether you are a teacher by accident, whether you are not a teacher at all, India will become world's #1 economy before 2050. And each one of us would have contributed towards it. But if that is a certain future, Are we ready to embrace that future? Are we ready to say that I can play that leadership role for the entire world? India will once again teach the world what is leadership. Intellectual, economic, humanitarian, happiness, whichever index you pick up. That is what is the soul of National Education Policy 2020. The new generation needs to be innovators. They need to be problem solvers. They need to be creative in their thinking. And the seeds have to be sown today. I was massively delighted to read the section 4 of NEP 2020. It spoke about what all are the triggers that we need to provide to the student. I have handpicked a few things. Section 4.35. Give every child a holistic development report card. Why? Unless we start measuring things, how will we improve it? Every management guru will come and tell you, you can only improve what you can measure. That is why we have been giving scores for mathematics, science, English, social studies. True, in the past, the state of economy required us to deliver the entire learning in a different manner. Today, the time is different. We have a different kind of opportunities. But unless we measure, we cannot improve. Section 4.35 says, let's start measuring holistic development. Let's figure out what is the right way to measure it. Let it not just be limited to a teacher taking an exam. How can we make even that report card a 360-degree report card? Self-assessment. It is not about a child giving an exam by himself. A child critiquing himself or herself. I am good at this, I am not good at this. Do I really want to be good at everything? The answer is no. There's a very popular Japanese concept called ikigai. Figure out what is it that you are good at. What is it that you enjoy doing? And what is it that the world is willing to pay for? Make that as your career choice, and you will always be delighted and happy about what you are trying to do. Now, while all of these concepts sound so fancy, it is not a rocket science. Each one of you have known that. We can say the schools have to do blah, 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 these 20 new things, but you cannot increase the fees. How do the school make it happen? I am completely supportive of Ganguly sir's thought that let's allocate 2% of the budget for teacher training. But at the same time, Shantanu sir said, we are not living in an ideal world. We have resource constraints. So every school principal I have spoken with, and I have spoken with 3,000 plus school principals till date in the last 3 years. We want to do it, but give us an affordable solution. Give us a solution which is high quality. And let me tell you, everyone loves to put a cherry on top of the cake. Oh, it makes the cake look so lovely. But there has to be a cake in the first place to place a cherry on top of it. If today when the students are returning back to the school, and we are seeing that there is deficit in their learning outcomes, whether it is reading, whether it is mathematics, how can the school say that we can take something extra on our plate? Do I take care of bread and butter, or should I solve for the desserts? So what we as a company are trying to do is, we are telling the schools, I can solve the non-academics part of NEP 2020 for you in the highest quality manner at the most affordable price. My prices, not just for 1 year. I can give you a recurring cost of as low as 20 rupees per student per month. That is a sustainable pricing to achieve what we want to achieve. The day India has become a super economic power of a higher order, then we can say people have paying power. Now to deliver these services, we need to charge. But till then, academics has to be the center stage. Teachers have to, in school, devote their focus on academics so that the child can get into a preferred career option of their choice. But in parallel, the non-academics exposure, the extracurricular exposure, the life skills exposure, that will be delivered by your virtual extracurricular department, your department for Section 4 implementation of NEP 2020, in totality in 100% compliance with government guidelines. And we will not just be executors. We will proactively be playing a thought leadership role with the government to define what is the best way to make it happen. I am working with Niti Aayog, I am working with different state government. We are actually ensuring that teachers devote their time on the highest value adding activity. So if you ask me, the holistic development report card, I will deliver it for you, and I will do it in a manner so that it does not interfere with the academic burden. I have a 100% digital solution. I will help you visualize it in the best possible manner. Every school over here organizes a debating competition in their school. You have 1,000 students, but 100 students signed up for that debating competition. Remaining 900 students did not even take part in debating competition. But that is a quintessential life skill for everyone to have. How can I as a school ensure that all 1,000 students are learning debating? We are a TikTok generation, we are an Instagram Reels generation. We give every child a debating assignment, do it from the comfort of your house. You don't have to feel worried about being judged. When you are comfortable, record your video with your debating submission. You want to do it in January, you do it in January. You want to do it in June, you do it in June. You want to do it in December, you do it in December. But your video goes to a debating specialist. That teacher will grade your entry and also give you feedback that next time, beta, when you are trying this, do things differently and you can become a better debater. That is the model in which a child does 20-25 activities in a year. And that becomes a holistic development report card because every activity is for some development theme. Social skills, emotional skills, creativity, imagination. But that is a unique innovation that we have done, which means teachers do not have to design activity. Teachers do not have to worry about submission and data management. Teachers do not have to do the assessment. But 100% of performance is visible to them so that when they are doing one-on-one conversation with the child, they can motivate the child appropriately. They can make the child excited about what is your super talent. So that is the unique thing. As a part of this software, we have the self-assessment and peer-to-peer assessment. It is no secret that every child goes for some private tuition classes or some private classes. Let's not deny it. Let's embrace it and make it a part of our system. If you are sending your child to a private tutor, ask that tutor to give a feedback, and the school wants to look at that feedback to know, okay, if the parent is shelling out, is it complementing with what I am seeing in the school? Let them not be two different systems. It is a part of the system and the school controls it. For all kind of extracurricular activities, Section 4 talks about teach the child foreign languages, teach the child about Indian ancient culture. Some government bodies are saying, let's teach them Bhagavad Gita, let's teach them Shloka, let's teach them Sanskrit. Someone saying teach them sign language, coding. Hiring these teachers is a big problem. You conduct less than 50 classes in a year, you have to pay for every month the salary, you do not have that kind of revenue coming in, and the month in which we want those teachers to take the classes, typically 30%, 40% quit and go away. We are telling you, we will provide you these teachers. You want 50 hours of French classes, I will give you a teacher to conduct 50 hours of French classes, you pay only for 50 hours. You don't have to pay for extra hours. You don't need to coordinate with 5 other schools in your neighborhood for teacher sharing. I will solve the teacher sharing across all the schools in the same locality. Whether you want online classes, whether you want in-person classes, I will give it to you at the best possible price. Additionally, we are also creating a network of high-quality providers. 𝗙𝗶𝗶𝗲 has signed a tie-up with us. Any school wants to launch 𝗙𝗶𝗶𝗲 Academy in their school, I will get you at best possible price and I will manage their quality. You want Trinity College of Music certification for your students? I am the only platform which does digital assessment on their behalf globally. Your students do not want to become a part of rat race in India. They want to go and study abroad. They want 40% scholarship, 50% scholarship so that that education can become affordable for them. I have handpicked a partner and I will manage it so that the students get best service at lowest possible cost. Net, all things non-academics, one trusted partner which is like my in-house department and takes care of everything. And 100% variable cost. If your students use the service, if you need those classes, if you need those progress report card, pay us money. There is no upfront installation cost. There is no capex. And operating cost, as I said, for the NEP 2020 compliance related items, as low as 20 rupees per child per month. We talk about thought leadership. You are getting a team which represents the best the country has to offer. People from IIT, IIM, MIT, Niti Aayog, top institutes like BCG, BlackRock, they will be at the service of your school as your thought partner, making your wish come true in an affordable, high quality manner. That is what KidEx is all about. I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce us to yourself. I am sure some of you would like to know more today. Some of you might be more interested in an year's time. Another classical example I use with people is WhatsApp was launched in 2009. India embraced it in 2014. KidEx is here to solve for what your school needs to do to become the role model school in the city or increase the margin between your school and other schools in the city. If you feel anything is of merit, give us a shout. Worst case, we will have a happy conversation and wish well for each other. Thanks a ton.
Thank you, Mr. 𝗙𝗶𝗶𝗲 Saraf. Please stay on stage. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to invite Ma'am Hema Kalakoti, Principal APS, to felicitate Mr. 𝗙𝗶𝗶𝗲 Saraf.